Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad 𝐬𝐻𝐾𝐿. That's Tyson Gentry. Folks, we got a special episode today. We are dipping our toes in golf because we haven't necessarily covered golf a ton here on the I Said What I Said channel. Now, if you are listening to us for the first time, welcome. We cover a bunch of different sports, mainly football, basketball, but we are going to come up with more golf content this year. Like, this is something Tyson and I both love. We've broken down some major championships. We're going to preview the major championships this year. We're going to get a lot more into it. So if you're watching on YouTube, as you can see, what we're going to be talking about today is the most likely first-time major winners. This is coming off Xander Schauffele winning for the first time last year. Tyson and I have had a good track record when it comes to actually calling the first-time major winners, if you can believe it or not. I mean, we called Xander last year, said he's going to win one. We didn't know he was going to win two, but we said Xander's going to win one. We think he's the second best player in the world, yada, yada. Tyson called Matt Fitzpatrick in his, out of nowhere, it seemed, championship run that he had at the U.S. Open. So that was something huge there. We also called Cam Smith together. We thought that he was prime over there as the putter to take home a British Open or the Open. And then we called Scotty Masters. I think everybody kind of had a feeling, but that's kind of something. I mean, it's something, right? Like you hit a shot, you got to celebrate. So Tyson and I have a pretty good track record. We're going to go through who we think our top five most likely first-time winners, each given five. Tyson, I know you're fired up for this.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll, man. I mean, we love doing golf content. We love talking golf. We haven't done a ton of episodes. Most of these conversations were as Brad and I were trying to put together major finishing parlays and stuff like that. So we're going to do that up front before the season this year and really try to get more into it.
Absolutely. And before we jump into it, let us know who you think. Most likely first-time winner. Let us know in the comments. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the like button if you're watching on YouTube. And let's get into it, folks. Tyson's going to lead off here. And if you're watching on YouTube, follow along. Here's number five.
Yeah, my number five here for me is going to be Tony Finau, Brad. And I have to be upfront about this. There are at least one omission here on my list that I would have put on the top here over and over again. But, Brad, I think I'm jinxing that guy. So we'll get to him when you get there. But my number five is Tony Finau. And it's now or never. And, I don't truly believe it. This is something that I want to happen maybe more than anything else in professional golf. And he was so close at the U.S. Open a year ago. We've seen him play really well at the Masters. We've seen him, T4s and T3s and the other ones, but those are 5 years ago now. And it feels like there's some times where it's like, damn, Tony's lost it. But when he's rolling the rock like he was last year at the U.S. Open, this is a guy that can compete on any golf course in the world and can compete with the best players in the world and come out on top.
Absolutely. No, I really wanted to put Tony on mine, Tyson. I love him just as a human, but God, it's just how many times can you get your heart broken? That's the thing. So Tyson, I'm going to the dark side on mine. Sepp Straka. Now, you guys don't know, if you're listening, you're like, what are you talking about? Sepp Straka, nice, lovable character. Every time that I back Sepp Straka in a big moment, he breaks my heart. So what am I doing putting him here? Tyson, I think this is the best golf that Sepp Straka has been playing in his career right now. He plays hard courses really well. That's a staple. It's kind of what he's known for. He's somebody who rises to the occasion, and when you have to grind out pars, Sepp Straka's been able to do it. He's not going to win necessarily shootouts, right? Like if you got to go 20 under, it's not really a course that he's going to win. So I think if you're kind of looking at things here, with the four major championships, of course, we have the Augusta, which is at the Masters, which is the first one in mid-April. They're going to go to Quail Hollow for the PGA Championship. That's kind of a shootout, or at least it's been. I think they're going to harden that up a little bit. We'll see how that performs, but that's the second one on the docket. Tyson, I'm kind of circling the last two here. The U.S. Open at Oakmont, which is in Pennsylvania, the last time Dustin Johnson won with a score in -4. Yeah, I mean, that's Dustin Johnson. I can take apart any course with his distance. He had to grind things out. So I'm circling that as a potential for Straka. And then over at Royal Portrush for the Open in mid to late July, if you can grind around the greens and do things like that, I think that plays into his strengths for Sepp if you're just going to kind of grind out around there. So, Tyson, against my better judgment, I'm putting Sepp Straka as the fifth most likely first-time major winner.
I love it. I think that would be awesome to watch, and the discourse around it would be really funny too, at least for us. I'm going with Mr. Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre here at my number 4. 2 wins on tour in 2024, including maybe a familiar location for this year, the majors that he's going to try to win, or hopefully for my list win. But 2 top 25 finishes in both his starts at the Masters. He was tied for 8th last year at the PGA, and it kind of felt like at the end of the season, Robert McIntyre figured out how to win some of these things. He's been sniffing around top of leaderboards for a long time, and this was like a breakthrough, so to speak, at the end of the year for him. And look, I want this dude to win an Open so bad, but I think he can play at Augusta, and he can play. He's demonstrated at some of these high-level tournaments he can play any golf course in the world.
Yeah, and Tyson, it's kind of funny because he went from like, oh, Scottish Open, I got to bet Bobby Mack, like that's how he plays over there. And then all of a sudden, he won a tournament, and then he's got the exemption, and he's going to more tournaments on the state side, and he's actually performing well. So I think that's an interesting look for you, Tyson, especially as a guy improves. We've seen a ton of late bloomers in the game of golf be able to win some tournaments on the back end, and I'm not saying he's close to finish, but not a highly touted guy, but all of a sudden, Bobby Mack starts putting things together, and he can start winning. My number 4 here, Zalatoris. I mean, this is a guy I cannot quit, man. I love his game. The back surgery thing did scare me, right? But I think the new swing is going to be able to elongate his career. And Tyson, we're talking about first-time major winners, and with the kind of the guise of, can it happen this year? Well, Scotty's going to be competing for the major, for the Masters. Maybe that's one there. John Rahm, we know, can be in the picture. If Rory McIlroy goes crazy at Quail Hollow, Justin Thomas has won there in the past. Jordan Spieth looks like his game could be better. So we got to factor in that the people who have repeated, and Xander Schauffele's still playing good, the people who already have a major through their name, it's not like they're exempt from these tournaments, right? Like they can still win it. So we got to look a little bit, if it's not this year, when. And Zalatoris, to me, has the game he can compete. I mean, we saw that. It was much to my chagrin that Tyson called the Matt Fitzpatrick thing, because I called Zalatoris and he came up short. But I think this guy's got the game to compete anywhere. I think he's the real deal. And so Zalatoris, I believe, is going to be a major winner. Just, is he going to be the next one? That's the question.
Got to make the putts, man. That's like when you look at Will Zalatoris' major career, he probably should have been off these lists a while ago. And we love Big Willie here, so hoping for that. This next one is a guy that I just want to see this swing win a major, Sungjae Im. Like, the dude can play, and I know he's not performed well at majors in the past, and I think he missed 3 cuts last year before finishing top 16 at the Open, or no, he was 7th at the Open, and he has 3 top 16 finishes at the Masters in his career. But come on, man, this is a golf video waiting to happen. I need this on every video game. Let Sungjae win one.
That would be super interesting, man. And he's performed well at the pass at Quail Hollow at the Wells Fargo when it's a signature event. So that's something to note too. If you're kind of like, I'm going to circle this. He went 6 under. Now Rory won at 17 under, and Xander was second at 12 under, and Sungjae was T4 at 6 under. Right there, folks. I mean, just a couple bounces. But that's something to note too if you're kind of thinking ahead and you're getting ready for some major season here. Tyson, my number 3. This is a guy that I think would be at everybody's top of the list a few years ago. It's Patrick Cantlay. I know he rubbed some people the wrong way. Oh, he's going slow, and it's a slow play, yada, yada. He chokes in the big moments. Didn't everybody say that about Xander? Didn't everybody say that about some of these other first-time winners in the past before they got it done? Cantlay's got the game, man. It's just, does he have the mental fortitude? I think that's what everybody's wondering. That's what everybody's questioning. But I would pose this as kind of a little tongue-in-cheek action. Doesn't he and Xander do everything together? Aren't they best friends? Don't they do it? Like, Xander wins his first, why not Cantlay's time? So that's what I'm banking on here. I do think, in all seriousness, though, if he can start off with a better performance this year and kind of roll into major season, I think he's going to be live to take home some hardware. So
are you saying Cantlay gets 2 majors and a gold medal?
That's next on his list. Yeah, he's got to accomplish it.
Okay, and we can, we'll get there. Maybe he gets the 2 majors this season. My next one here, I'm going with Sahith, man. He closed 2024 hard, and I'm looking at that President's Cup where he gained some good experience. He figured out how to win on tour, and this guy has the game that I think can win a major at any of these locations this year, or at least put him in contention to the ability to make a push on a Saturday and a Sunday. But Brad, I do worry a little bit maybe about the mentality. That's a big spot to be in when you're just kind of, it's a lot. But I think that he can be a special player in that way and just kind of block out some of this noise. I really like him. And again, I'm looking at that end of, it's similar to the Robert McIntyre angle where I'm like, wow, last season showed me that you can play with the best guys in the world. And if we're going to go guys that can make a run in a major tournament, I think Sahith's a good call.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm a big 𝐿𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿 fan, and I'm surprised I didn't have him on my list. But I just got to see him win something, And it's just always something that comes up short here and there. He has the talent, man. I mean, this guy's a star golfer at Pepperdine. His on the short time on the tour, he's been in big spots where he is positioned to win, and that's at his young age. I think a little bit more time on the tour, it could certainly come. And Tyson, all you need is 4 good days of golf, right? And then you win. And I say all you need, but that's really kind of how you look at it. You could be playing like crap, and then you come into the tournament, and the driver feels good. You're making putts. All of a sudden, you're at the top of the leaderboard.
Who is your next guy, and let's do the 4 good days? Because I want this guy to win a major too.
Yeah, it's Viktor Hovland. I mean, this is our guy. Tyson is afraid that he's jinxing him. That's one of his reasons why he's not on here, but I think there are some other reasons. Now, he'll get into that. Here's my reason. We're going to talk about the guy, and we both have number one, is pure talent. I mean, Hovland's got everything, man. He can hit every shot. He's more of a power fader. You know, he can't really chip around the green. Well, he fixed that, and he was elite. Then he won a ton. He won the FedEx Cup. Guy is a star. I think what he's running into is his pursuit of perfection. And, I didn't like how my swing looked here. Well, why? I mean, you're winning a ton. So he's gone back to some, I think, one of his old coaches. I think that's a little bit better for him. Just do what naturally comes to you. Then all you have to do is go out there and play. And if Viktor Hovland is just going out there and playing, Tyson, the likelihood that he wins one of these things is very high.
Oh, he's got to. Viktor's he's an excellent player. Right? Like when he's on, he's one of the best in the world. But it does have to be 72 holes. It's a 72-hole tournament, and we've seen Viktor Hovland blow up in some of these spots. And he's like Will Zalatoris, where if you just stop the leaderboard after 65 holes sometimes or 54, you go, he's winning this thing, no problem. And then at the end of the tournament, like you said, he's out on the range changing his swing, and far be it from me to tell Viktor Hovland that he doesn't need to work on a swing. I mean, if the guy feels something, he feels it. But it does feel like constant changes make it hard to compete at the very top. And I'm hoping that Ludvig Åberg does not fall into any of those traps, because this dude is just oozing golf talent. Like it's crazy. I think that this is the guy that if we were making the list that was strictly about who could win one this year, whether it was past winners or non-winners, he would still be at the top of this thing. This guy, he's special.
Oh, he's like the golf robot, as people are kind of calling. He's a big, handsome guy, from overseas, and got the game, got the strength. He kind of looks, looks the part. You know what I mean? And I don't know, right? He's got a little swagger, Tyson, but it's like, is that swagger? Or is he just being humble? Like, it's a great combo to have. And the dude's fun to watch. He hits it a mile. He's a great putter. He got a little juice to his game. And so I think if you have to put a list together, like what we're doing, who's going to be the next first-time major winner? This guy has to be top of every person's list. I mean, he can compete at Augusta, right? He's got the fade shot. He's got the putting. He's got the distance to compete there. Okay, let's go to Quail Hollow. That's a place that he can compete for sure. It's a course that he can attack, and he can go low enough to win there. And then if you need to grind out a course and you need to just grind pars, Tyson, I think he can do that at Oakmont too. Now we'll see kind of how his game looks later in the Open. That's completely different, and we have to get kind of to that, that link style golf. But I think in just the first 3, and when you're talking about the Masters, absolutely is live. I like him a lot at the PGA Championship, and I think the U.S. Open, he's got the game to win that too. Yeah,
I mean, if the Players is the 5th one, let's throw that in there. This guy is going to be on a tear, I think, to start the beginning of the year here, and it's not often that your non-major winners are going to be leading off the betting odds for some of these things, but you're not getting a short or a cheap price or a good price on Ludvig.
No, exactly. And so that's our list here, guys. Top 5 each, who we think is the most likely first-time winners. And I'll show you again here as we close out and we get ready to kind of say goodbye here. Let us know what you think in the comments. So Tyson and I both, Ludvig Åberg up top. I have Viktor Hovland 2. He has 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐞𝐭 2. Second most likely. Then I have Patrick Cantlay 3. He's got 𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿. I'm going to go with Will Zalatoris 4. He's got Bobby Mack 5. 4. And then I have Sepp Straka and Tony Finau for Tyson. So that's an interesting little pairing there. It'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. Because with that being said, Tyson, we're going to do a lot more stuff. And that's why you got to stay subscribed. Tyson, I've been kind of talking about different content we want to do. And golf was the first thing. So if you're a golf guy, stay with our channel. We're going to have you covered for the majors. We're not necessarily going to do week-to-week stuff. Leave that to the true experts. But when the majors come around, we get prepared, and we like to play a little long shots and all that good stuff. So we'll have you covered on that front.
Absolutely, yeah. And all that's going to be in our Discord. We will tell you all about. We'll get into strokes gained and all of that other stuff. Keeping it light a little bit here with this one, Brad. But the Discord is, I said what I said. Tons of different channels in there, golf included. MMA, we haven't got a ton of traffic in, but let us know what you think is going to happen in some of these upcoming cards. We got the NBA rolling, college basketball as always. It's almost March Madness.
With that being said, like I said at the top, like, subscribe, and share. Share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Hit the like button as well. And we'll be back with some more content coming your way. Till then, guys, peace.